Hey everybody. So we're here tonight. I got a 3-year-old on my shoulder. I'm gonna try to do this at least an hour. We're gonna do 15-minute sprints and 5-minute chats or whatever, 10-minute chats if it goes over a little bit. The questions for tonight, let me see, I got them somewhere. They got me post them so I can keep track of them. I'll post them here because they're on other thing. So tonight's questions is based on the theme of a writer's artistic layers. The first question is name one other art form you do or would like to do. While you think about that, we'll go ahead and do our introductions. DL, you want to go ahead and do your introduction?
I got kids dying back there. But
Oh,
here's them screaming.
I
But
know,
I'm
man.
DL Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. I'm participating in Mandy Lynn's 10K writing challenge today. I don't know if I'm actually going to hit it this time. Got like 4,700 words written, so I still got a little over halfway to go.
Hey, that's good,
But
man. That's
yeah,
awesome, Kate. That's some awesome stuff right there. Um, I am not on a challenge, but I will be trying to write as many words as I can in my revision. Oh, it looks like Aphrodite will be able to join us. So hold on a second. I will add her to the stream. Okay. So she's there, but she's going to have to get her camera situated. So she is here
Yeah,
with us,
it's
however.
I turned it. I always turn it when I get off camera because I'm always afraid that I don't turn the camera off.
Dude, I know. Well, it's better to do that than to make some mistakes that
Oh my God, I have
YouTubers have
seen
made.
mistakes.
Yeah, some things we didn't want to see. I'm just saying.
I still can't get it, but y'all bear with me. I'll get it.
Dude, you good. Let me go back to the chat. I did post the questions, Aphrodite, in our private chat, so they're also on the thing. But if you want me to read them to you, but the first one we're gonna do is name one.
I didn't know we were doing questions on Saturdays too. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, I do it both. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna run myself ragged with that since I gotta do questions both times. But I still managed to find something to talk about. So tonight's theme is a writer's artistic layers. So the first question is name one other art form you do or would like to do. But you could do your introduction first. I let DL did his, and then I'll do mine after you do yours when you're ready to go.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I'm getting there.
You good?
I am Aphrodite Lee. I write paranormal fantasy mostly. My book Shattered, which isn't paranormal fantasy, it is coming of age, will be out in November. And my other book, Encounters, The Seven Erotic Sins, is also not paranormal fantasy. Well, it's got some fantasy elements, but okay, it's erotica. And that's already out if you want it. I don't know what
I'm very good. You're so funny. So, as you know, I'm Arthur D. Artillery. This is my channel, and I write paranormal romance and horror. I am predominantly a horror writer, but I also write fantasy as well. My debut novel is going to be a fusion, or I guess sub genre with the main genre. So it's going to be a horror fantasy. That's what it turned into. So expect some surprises, and you might get angry at some points. But it's going to be very interesting, Brad, to say the least.
I literally got back in the door.
I know you did. I figured that was the case, and also has some romance undertones because there's some love interest in most of my stories, but it's not necessarily romance genre. So that being said, you can follow all our links down below, websites, book purchases, because of course DL Stewart has his book out. You can purchase that on Amazon, and Aphrodite, as she said, has Encounters out. You can also purchase that on Amazon, and the links for both of their books are below. I don't have any books out yet. My debut novel comes out summer 2020, and then I'll have sequential different books releasing later next year as well to go behind Cagliostro, which is the name of the title of the book. Summer 2020, and then I'll have sequential different books releasing later next year as well to go behind I think that's you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. I do like to hear myself talk, obviously, so it's okay. Don't worry.
I meant to mute it before I clicked.
Yeah, I do forget that sometimes. Like I try to mute my tablet because I always have a screen open on my tablet. But anyway, let me go ahead and open up a second screen for this. So I'm going to be holding this 3-year-old apparently the whole entire time because she sleep on me.
Oh, you got the baby.
Yeah, yeah. It's because you're right and parenting don't stop.
I do recall. No
So
joke. I told you I bounced a many a baby on my knee while I was typing with one finger.
yeah, dude, I'll be talking with one hand tonight. That's for sure. That's cool. Now my shoulder, I won't have to lift weights tonight because I'm holding her. So I'm just saying.
There you go.
um, yeah. So let's see what we got going
Do
on
we
here.
stop talking so much?
Oh,
He said he's sorry. He can't help himself. He's not trying to, but he just can't. Can't help himself.
it's gotta get all these words out one way or the other.
I'm not gonna be able to really stay
Okay, so
again. But
no
this is
worries.
my last week of auditions, so
Okay.
don't even get me started.
I know. I got you. But yeah, so let's go ahead and answer the first question. Again, that is let me sure. Name one other art form you do or would like to do. Who wants to grab that first?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Wow, I do a lot of other stuff. I danced for 100 years. Tap dance and ballet and jazz for I don't remember how when I stopped actually. I
Yeah,
think my son was about 7 or 8 when I stopped doing it all the time.
yeah.
And then I draw. Um, damn, that's a hard question.
That's okay. You
I
got a
mean,
lot. That's no problem.
yeah. So, but my main concentration, other than writing, is drawing. I like to draw. I like to sketch out my characters and that kind of thing. So
Cool then.
I'm way into that.
What
My
about you, D?
music and my singing, everything. Oh my god.
Well, some of us writers, I know we have layers, man. I'm just telling you. Some of us do. DL, what about you? You got any other hidden artist gems in there we don't know about?
Well, I used to be in a rap group, but I'm pretty sure everybody
Ooh,
knows that by
music.
now. Do
Yeah,
what?
music.
Yep.
Yeah, music.
I used
Right.
to sketch, draw, type stuff all the time. Um, I guess that's about it.
No, that's enough. I'm just saying. um, but yeah, so that's what I was curious about because the writing community as writers, we write, but we usually have some kind of. I know artists always have some kind of multi-tiered
Yeah. I used
artistic
to be able
background.
to play a lot of different instruments as well.
Yeah, sometimes you don't forget that kind of stuff, though.
That's one thing
Yeah, I haven't done it in a
I
while.
never could
You
do.
get a
Like
little,
I can
get a little
fool
rusty
around
with
with the
that.
guitar. I have a guitar. Fool
Mhm.
around with that. Fool around with the keyboard and stuff like that, and play some tunes that I make myself memorize. But I never truly learned how to play an instrument.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
play drums, piano, and guitar.
I love the piano. That's cool.
Yeah, and violin. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't get me started with that. I love violin. I'm actually taking lessons for the violin now. I'm gonna start. I had one for like forever, but I never got. What I really want to play though is the cello. I thought that's like the sexiest like instrument ever. So I'm
So
really
my
really
daughter
into.
plays violin. All the kids play some kind of an instrument.
Yeah, that's really cool. Myself, dancing obviously. That's been a long time coming. I actually draw. Um, so I kind of have to draw because of the doing the costume and fashion design. And then singing, I do singing, a cappella, so opera. Um, I play a few extra instruments, but that's one of our other questions, so I'll save that. Um, yeah, I think that's probably about it as far as arts are concerned. There's so many you could do,
I
so
mean, yeah, because I mean, even like gymnastics, I did that forever. And it was getting to the point where they were saying that I was gonna size out because I was like turning into a giant.
Yeah, yeah.
And the minute you tell me I can't do something, I'm just going to do it 15,000 times better than everybody else.
Very true.
Again, challenge.
Well, I noticed too though with the gymnasts, a lot of them are shorter in stature because they
Yeah,
start so early.
and
We
you
don't know
get
how
stunted
tall they
too.
would be. Yeah, we don't really know how tall they would have been.
Yeah,
But being a gymnast at that early age that you have to start, you're just jumping and banging and all that stuff with your practice and everything. And the way you use your body, it's no way it's going to stunt growth probably at some point. And if you, it depends on what age you start. As I know some of those gymnasts start like 3,
and if it doesn't, and you know,
and they
because
going to
they
get out.
do try to, don't they know how to handpick smaller people anyway? Just to
Mhm.
be honest, they just know.
Well, they wouldn't pick my
But
daughter.
somebody always breaks the rule, like me. Everybody in my family, they're just little, and
So
not
they
only little, but they're bird
wrong.
bone and short, and
Yeah,
no
seem wrong.
boobs and everything, you know. And I followed
Mhm.
suit for a very long time, and then
Yeah.
my body said, "Nope, you're gonna be tall. You're gonna develop all that good stuff." And I did. And
Mhm.
trust me, it's very hard to maneuver uneven parallel bars, and you have a C cup.
Oh well, that's a totally different story. Like my daughter, I think she might be interested in gymnastics, but I'm not pushing her into anything until she can tell me that's what she wants to do. But like she's kind of tall, so I don't know if she would fit into that stature. I don't think she's going to be short by any means. The new generation seem like they might be kind of like tall or whatever. So
Right.
every other 3-year-old I've
But
seen is
Nadia
kind of
Comaneci, she
tall.
grew like 6 inches one summer, and she still was able to do her thing. So
Yeah, I mean you still can. It's just that you have to realize what's going to happen. With your height. Let's see if anybody answered the question. Let's see. Uh, it was I started playing painting 3 or 4 years ago. Didn't realize I could. Not
wow,
great, but I'm better than I thought I'd be. So I enjoy it. I wish I could sing though. I do it anyway too though.
I could not
Painting,
paint.
painting and that type of thing. It's never about like there is no like better or good. Like to me, it's kind of you know expression of it. So I don't know about like being better. It depends on what you're going after. You going after like painting realistic people and things like that, then of course there's probably a standard in how much this looks like a real person type of thing. If you're doing oil paint and stuff like that. But I mean, I think if it's more like what you call it? Missing over here.
I don't know.
Uh
Impressionism,
yeah, something like that or
abstract.
abstract style. I don't really think there's like a standard for it besides it being in its genre maybe. But yeah, I think with art is they shouldn't
Art is
they will
always subjective.
it is subjective because it's going to be tastes for everyone. So, but yeah, that's good. Painting is fun. I did paint before. I did it for a while, relieve stress and stuff. Back, I think, oh my god, I
I
was like
could
14
not
or
paint.
something. But I enjoyed it. I just did brush strokes and stuff like that. But I wasn't a painter by any means. My older brother is though. He's an
Yeah, I can
artist.
paint, but I am learning to do digital art, which is really a lot of fun.
Actually, I'm ready to get into that. So I'm gonna get me one of those $700 pads because I'm gonna do my own book covers. I decided. Hey Jones, thanks for dropping by. I know you said you can't stay, but thanks for joining us
I got a
nonetheless.
pad. I don't have a Cintiq yet because I want a Cintiq, but I don't need a Cintiq while I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, I know it's true. Da, 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 da.
But I can draw. I cannot paint. Like I don't.
Oh no,
I lose it. I'm telling you, I've ruined everything that I draw trying to color it in.
you fun. Well,
I
you'll
did
learn
it. I
different.
learned. I started scanning my shit so that I can have it, so I can ruin shit because that's what I do.
You silly. Eva said had a niece who competed at some higher levels in gymnastics. She hurt her spine. Oof. Had some surgeries, got hooked on opioids, and didn't get any happier. She would have gone far if not for the injury. Yeah, man, that's unlucky with that because that does happen. It
My
sucks.
mother would never let me compete. She didn't. My mom. She would let me learn how to do stuff, and if I wanted to do gymnastics, then I can go do it. If I want to do ballet, because I didn't. I started ballet late. I didn't start ballet until I was, I think, 12. And you're
Yeah.
really aged out at that point. But when
Mm.
I had to audition to get into the class, so I got in, and then I'm just me. I'm crazy like that. But I was able to
Hey,
get
nothing wrong
through.
with that.
And
Nothing
so
wrong with that.
Yeah, so because they were like, we're not just accepting people. You have to audition. I'm like, audition what? Like, I've never done ballet, so how do I audition? I had to prove that I could dance, that I can move, that I could take direction, and that I had the stamina. I knocked that shit apart.
I
So
was
I'm
gonna
like,
say that's so weird to say audition for ballet and you haven't taken ballet. Like, bitch, what you talking about? This is just a
right.
strict ass
Yeah,
art.
they know they didn't do that to you, but when you got in there, they didn't act like you didn't know then. You had to learn. You had to learn French because
Mm-hmm.
the class is in French. You had to
Yeah.
learn everything like you have been doing it since you were three.
Do you know?
There was no waiting for you to keep up, catch up. You had to keep up. But I loved it. I loved every minute of it. They had to kick me out of class every day.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. I missed the ballet thing. I didn't do ballet. I went from modern dance to my native dance, Native American dance, and then I went to Middle Eastern dance right after that. So I hit Middle Eastern dance when I was 12, and then went up from there. Learned a bunch of different styles of Middle Eastern dance, and then I started learning hip hop when I was probably like 20, in my early 20s. Started learning like hip hop and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, so I think belly dance is as the Americans call it. Um, Belly dance is very it accepts all ages, so
I
it's
love
not like
belly dance.
yeah, it's not something that's the one thing I like about it. Even though there's a lot of things I don't like about it, but they you can go into it at any age and start and not be like, well, you didn't start when you were 4 or 3, so we can't help you. Like, well, you're not young enough. You're not so you can't do this. There's a lot of dancers from ballet and other dance styles that were so strict that they went to belly dance after the fact because they told them they were too old to do their dance anymore. So they kind of
I've never run into that. Oh my god! I got
yeah.
when I the whole thing with ballet is the teacher could have been like, "Oh no, you can't do this," and she was
Mm,
like, "If you get in, you can do it." And
mm. Hey,
I
if they
love
say
that.
you do it, that's it. You know
And
what
then
I'm
my
saying?
son, he took ballet. He started ballet, but he did start young. He started ballet when he was 3.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's the
I was
right age.
worried because I'm like, I'm never gonna let him do like competitions and stuff like that. But his little black butt is gonna go dance, and unless he hated it,
Yeah,
he had to
yeah,
at least try it. And he took to it. He loved it. That's when he went in the tap, got in the tap right after ballet because you have to be certain motor skills before you can do certain things. Because he couldn't
yeah,
do
yeah,
jazz
yeah.
for a couple years, but then he didn't want to do it anymore. I'm like, you can come out.
Yeah, and it's like that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in on our first sprint.
Oh,
We're gonna do 15 minutes. So we'll be back at about 36. 8:36 because we're about a minute past 20, and then we will do our second question and then talk a little and then go back onto another sprint. Okay. So I'm gonna count us out. 3, 2, 1, and right, and we'll see you in 15. Okay, and we're back. And we're back. Oh, my side's killing me. Oh, this kid. Oh, oh boy. Whew. Oh, how'd everyone do? Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get very many words written. I did write some, and I had to delete a good amount too. So I don't know. I guess it's irrelevant when you're editing. So, um, yeah. Oh my goodness. You got 234. Steven, got 234. We'll wait for anyone else's numbers to come in. I said second. I edited about 2 pages. Kind of a little harder to do with the holding the 3-year-old. I might have to pass her off in a little bit. We'll see. Oh my god. Oh.
I got 336.
Good job, yo. Write some words for me, dude. I'm editing, so I'm not going to be deleting some words and replacing, so you kind of balance an hour. May get a few more, but it's in the midst of editing right now.
Right.
Ava, I got 112. Good. Whew. Aphrodite said she was muted. She didn't know we were back. Yeah, that happens. That happens to me sometimes. I'm trying to talk like, wait, I didn't press the unmute button. Oh my goodness me. Oh, I can't. This kid's so heavy now. Oh, this kid. Oh, God. Hey, girl. Get up it. Oh. Whew. Yes, I'm editing kind of as I go, flushing things out, fixing POV. Yeah, I had to fix that because I changed it. Yeah, so I think maybe making more POV errors. I'll find out on the next edit. I feel that. Hopefully, I'll catch all the ones that I have to change since I'm on this deadline. I got to finish by October 1st, well before that, so I can have it ready. I have to edit it myself after because I'm just editing, the story changes that happened for the revision. So the other type of editing, like grammar and misspellings or things like that. Not too many misspellings in there, thank goodness, but grammar stuff that I have to fix, obviously. Because I don't want to send it completely, raw to my editor. She says she don't care about getting raw. That's her job. So even if I miss something, she'll be fine with it. Because she said I don't. She said I actually prefer people don't bother editing it and just let me do it. Okay. I'm not gonna complain about that. No, unless for me to do. I'm saying. So I'm not complaining about it. Like, please do. So yeah, I won't worry about it too much. No, Aphrodite, I did not get a chance to listen to the chapter 2 encounters yet, but I plan to tonight though. I was gone all day. I was at a steampunk festival performing and running the Hafla, the belly dance portion of it for the director. So I was gone from like 8:30 in the morning until like 5. So I just got back in here and had time to swallow something, not my dinner because I didn't get to eat that. Drink something, play around with the baby, and then that's why she's down here with me now. So yeah, I'll listen to it tonight though. I usually read DL's book when I'm in bed, and then if you got something for me to read, I'll read that. So I'll listen to your thing tonight, and then I'll read some of DL stuff in the middle of the night. Oh. I spent enough money on an English degree, figure I should be able to figure it out. This is true. However, even editors have editors. Just because when we're writing, we miss things, even when we're the best editor for other people, even people who are professionals at editing, being an editor, there's just you're gonna miss something, even if you shouldn't, because you just can't see it because you know what you want to say. So you kind of will read right through it. Even though, I mean, me and Aphrodite went over her book how many X amount of times and we still miss stuff. So it's best to editor gets an editor even. So though I can understand your pain of why you wouldn't will try to avoid, especially since you have that degree. So oh, okay, you're doing traditional, so yeah, they'll get you an editor. But you'll still have an editor, so because everybody has to have one, even people who like are like professional editors. So, oh boy, I don't know. Let's do the second question. Let's see here. Um, Kind of relevant to the first one. And some of you may already answered it a little bit. So, what instrument do you play, or would you like to learn, or do you play more than one? I think we heard what DL was saying earlier, but is there anything we missed, DL? I know you said piano and guitar.
Piano, guitar, and drums. That's really the only instruments.
Is there any other ones you want to learn?
I don't know. Growing up, what I wanted to learn was the drums. So when I got in school and I could join band, I learned how to play a snare drum and a bass drum, and then I kind of taught myself how to play a trap set.
Nice.
After school, like in college, and then I had also bought myself a guitar when I was going to college, and just kind of taught myself how to play that.
Yeah.
And the piano, I kind of learned myself. My mom rented a house. It had like an old organ in it. It came
cool.
with the house when we was renting it, so I kind of learned how to do that, and then kind of transferred that knowledge over to actual piano.
That's cool.
But besides that, no. I just like percussion. I don't like any kind of wind instrument.
That's cool. Yeah, but you don't think you already got enough of them under your belt. Anyway, I play acoustic and electric. I did get one lesson because somebody I know had gave me a free lesson one day on drums, and he's such a good teacher that I was playing a song before I left. Like he was like, "Oh, you might be a natural." I'm like, "I wish." Like I really love drums though, so I want to actually pick that back up again. But violin and cello, I want to play that, which I'm going to take violin lessons soon. And then
Violin
cello.
sound good. I don't know if I'd ever want to actually play it.
Yeah, I always had an interest in playing it. I love the sound it makes, but I'd love to make the music myself. Cello, I love the sound it makes, and I'd love to make the music myself. I think it's a very interesting instrument. Something I'm interested in, but I have never attempted is a harp. I think it's very classical. Not many people play it, so I would really have an interest in playing harp.
I think even just like watching somebody play a harp looks very elegant, just kind of just sitting there.
Yeah, I actually seen somebody live playing the harp actually. Actually funny, a belly dance event that I went to. The one of the dancers' husband played the harp, so he played the harp while the dancer danced. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely think the harp is really elegant, so I definitely would love to learn that. It's some Asian instruments I want to learn, like some of the Japanese instruments. Some of those I watch some of the bands and stuff on YouTube, and it's some interesting like instruments. Like, dude, I would love to try that. Like, it's a lot of different stuff, but I want to try the piano. My daughter really likes the piano, so I'm going to buy her a grand piano when she turns 5, so she can do lessons on that. And she has like little pianos right now, but she seems to always love piano, so that's cool. But if anybody want to answer that question, please do, and I will read your answer. If not, then I will go ahead and start the next sprint. And this is a good time to start it because it's like 8:45. So if I don't see a answer up here, okay, my mother loved the harp. Yeah, the harp is nice. After that, I said her mother loved the harp. It is very beautiful. Let's see. Okay. All right. So if everyone's ready, we can go ahead and start another sprint. Let's see what we can get done in that time. Get our second one started. So we should be back at, I guess, 9 o'clock. Let's say. Like come back at 55. We're at about 56 right now, 10 minutes in. So let's go back at 9 o'clock. and then do our other question, and then do another sprint. If anyone still wants to answer number question number 2, then go ahead and go for it, and I will read them when we come back. All right, see you in 15. 3, 2, 1, and right. Good night, Aphrodite. I know you gotta go. Bye. Okay, and we're back. How did everyone do? Let's see. Ava is the first in with her numbers. 80 new words. And next up is a read through to see if I can call this one done enough and move the heck on. I feel that I'm doing slight edit with a read through at the same time since it's already written. It's already all written, but there are changes that I have to make to match the outcome of the series. So, working my way through. I think I'm on page about 40 right now, with the making sure that there's no plot holes. So I had added a lot at the beginning that needed to be changed, but I am back up with where I can just edit out the POV mistakes that are now mistakes. It wasn't before. It's more narrated than it was before, as I had it through the both characters' perspective. So it was like dual POV for the two main characters, but I changed it to past tense narrated type. So I had to change them to speaking more like I blah 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 went through instead of they or he or she, whatever. So I had to change those things. But that's not too much to do. It's not like I have to write the entire book over. Just like edits like that, and then story plots that got filled out have to be added in. So I have to go through it every page to make sure nothing is missed. Anyway, so let's see what Steven got. Steven got 324. Very good job, Steven. Very good. How about you, DL? Where you at?
I got 538.
Oh, that's the usual DL number right there.
I'll switch back to my memoir, so
Okay.
it'll be kind of higher numbers, I guess.
Yeah, true. What made you do a memoir?
I don't know. I kind of had the idea doing it here a while back. I guess kind of reminiscing and missing that part of my life, I guess. And the guys I used to rap with, and one of the guys was going through some hard times. He got really addicted to hard drugs like meth and stuff, and was wanting to commit suicide and a bunch of other stuff. And I figured I'd go ahead and start writing on it, and then if that happened, I could just dedicate it to him. So.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Because I mean,
got over
that'd be
that little
interesting.
slump, but I figured I'd go ahead and write it anyways.
I think that'd be a good read actually, because it's like the perspective of someone that's been in that situation. You know what I mean? Deal with people that was in that situation. So
yeah, I mean, at that point while he was doing it, he wasn't. He was like the farthest from it. The other guy in our group was the one that was always doing acid and shrooms and
anything you heard of.
But I mean, he was like almost like me. He drunk a little bit, and he smoked cigarettes, and that was it. And I don't do anything, but he fucking made that big leap. He got locked up for 20 months, and then once he got out of there, he got addicted to pills, and then started doing meth and kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, opioids addiction is really bad because a lot of people, get addicted because they were on something because of pain or whatever, or accident or something like that, an injury, and then they get addicted to some stupid ass drugs that they give you. So yeah, it's really sucky when that shit happens, like circumstances and shit. So yeah, it'd be interesting. As you said, Ava said, I want to write a creative nonfiction memoir style story based on my mother's life. I've thought about writing a memoir myself. More, I guess, just because every time I talk to people, they're like, well, you guys, like, because me and my mom are usually talking to them or something, like, you guys need to write a book about your life and stuff like that. I've been through a lot of shit, and not a lot of it not my fault that it happened, because it happened when I was young too. But I got out of it and fought back through it. So I think my memoir could be a memoir, but it's probably going to end up turning into like an inspirational style-esque book, because of my whole point of it would be to tell people don't give up, and even if it seems like there is no hope or light at the end of the tunnel, then as long as you keep fighting, you can make it through. You just gotta keep chugging away. So that would be my whole reason to tell people about my story. So it'd be a memoir, but then like inspirational on top of it because I did build up from where I was and never broke. I never broke, even though it felt like I could break sometimes, but I never let myself get shattered. So there's that whole aspect of it. You know, I've written a lot of writer groups. They're like, no one wants to read your memoirs. I'm like, first off, that's not true because it could be someone who can relate to those issues that you went through, and people like to read.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, people that are like them, they like to read that type of stuff, especially if it's a, I went through this and this type of thing goes on, and you're not, excuse me, you're not alone, in these aspects. So someone saying that, you know how some writers got something to say about something when they should just be quiet. So
Mine's gonna
yeah,
be
there's that.
more. It starts before we ever started recording. There's probably about a year there that we was a group and we never recorded anything. Like at the very beginning, and there was so much drama and stuff that went down in that time frame. Like we
Mm,
fell apart and then got back together and all that crap, and then we recorded for I don't know 5 6 years after that.
wow.
So the memoir is going to kind of span all of that.
Wow, that's so
It's
crazy.
going to be like I guess, behind the scenes of a rock and roll lifestyle type ordeal.
That's really
It's, all of
cool.
us lived together for a while, and there's always parties going on at our house.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool though. That'd be interesting to read, especially people just interested in the industry, like people behind the scenes, like the stuff they go through and shit. Because it's a lot of shit. So,
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I actually thought about doing one about my dance too, because it was a lot of drama in that shit, dude.
oh
A
yeah.
lot of
I
dancers
know.
would be mad at my ass though if I did one, because they don't want to be called the fuck out, like how they treat people, especially when it's a whole community of mostly women. I mean, we have guys in the belly dance community, but it's not as many as women are involved, obviously. But we do have guys. But men are men. Whether they're straight dudes or gay dudes, it doesn't matter. Like they still dudes. So men don't react to stuff like women. Men aren't like they don't get like women do or respond to things. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
if a guy is going to talk about something, men barely do that. And if they do, it's kind of different. And when you talk about a whole community of mostly females, mostly you'll get if you have like a gay guy, let's say, who's like with a group of women, he's in a clique or whatever, and he's talking about a woman. Like he'll sometimes it depends on the gay guy. Obviously, he be kind of more like a woman, and he'll be like trying to be catty like them or whatever. But it's different when women do it. It just
Oh,
says they can be more hurtful about it, really. Because if a guy
yeah. I
doing it, we
know.
kind of waving our hands at him like, whatever. But females, they can be pretty vindictive with their shit, like, and they'll carry it forever. Like they won't let it go. Like, so it can be pretty tough. So if I did a memoir on that, this is gonna be some mad people. I'm just so I already know what's gonna happen if I ever did it. Ava said, I want to, not that one, read the second one. My mother recently gifted me her jewelry box. She had asked me last year after an ICU stay what I wanted of hers, and that's the only thing I could remember her having from my childhood. That's cool. She doesn't hang on to things, so she gave it to me, and it has stuff I remember from being a kid and going through it. Yeah, that's always like a memorabilia type thing. So I'm going to make chapters based on those items and what they were to her. That's really cool. That perspective. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, I think memoirs are fine to write. I think they're good for the writing world as well. No matter what I hear, some people say, "Oh, I want to read your memoir." I mean, like,
I know. I
what do you
used to
say?
talk to some of my coworkers about some of the stuff that we used to do, and they was like, "Man, that would make for a good book." And I was like, I
Yeah,
guess.
because some people want to read about different things, dude.
Yeah, the
So
people being stupid, and
yeah,
yeah. I know the major drama, wherever that happened to us before we ever started recording. We had rented a house together. It was me, the other two dudes that was in my group, my girlfriend at the time, one of the other dude's girlfriends at the time,
yeah.
and one of the dude's fiancés. And what the hell? Just a sec.
You good?
Phone call.
You good? So while DL is on this call, we're gonna do the third question, and DL can answer when he comes back. The third question for tonight is: do the arts run in your family, or are you a loner? So if anyone wants to answer that question, please do comment below. So the question again is, do the arts run in your family or are you a loner in that aspect? I know my makeup, I have my performance gold, 24 karat gold makeup still on. So. um, no, I am not alone in my case. Older brother is a visual artist, was had a scholarship to the School of the Arts in Baltimore. Very big deal with that. And what other art does he do? Um, he sings some too. My little brother is a photographer. So I told my mom he gave birth to all artists, and I'm a dancer, obviously, and a writer. So yeah, definitely not a loner in that aspect. DL, the third question is: do the arts run in your family, or are you a loner in that aspect?
Um, Only side of my family I really know is my mom's side, and in that case, I would be a loner.
Mm-hmm.
I know my dad used to be like a carpenter, and he liked building stuff. Like I
Mm-hmm.
got bookshelves, and my mom used to have some other types of furniture that he just built himself
Cool.
without a blueprint or anything like that.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he was, I guess, crafty type art,
Yep, definitely
whatever.
crafty. Yep.
But I mean, that's all thing I really know.
You came out of woodwork and they like the fuck, like
Yep.
he was a writer. But yeah, I
And
think
my mom told me all the time, she's like, "Why didn't you do this when I was in college? You could write all my papers." I didn't even write my own papers in college. What are you talking about?
that's too funny. Your mom sounds like she's funny. Like, yeah, let me get you to write my papers for me. Why did you wait until now to start doing this?
Yep.
Let's see. David said, I'm a loner and accepting that I enjoy art. I have several crafters near me and those who write but don't claim it. I write, but I'm not a writer. Sort, yeah. Like, if I guess some people are like that, where like, I write, but I'm not a writer. Like, I don't know what that even means, to be honest with you, but I know there's people that would say I'm a writer, but not an author per se. Because if you haven't published anything, then they would say not a author, but you can still be a writer. Um, but it's relative about being a author because, in all honesty, you can have lots of things published a lot easier these days. Whether that be articles or you put other things out there. Once it's out to the public, it's published. So, yeah, not a big thing. I think it means poetry they don't want to share. That's very possible, Ava. I'm a poet myself, but that's the first thing. That's the first stuff I would write. Actually, when I was younger, um, I was writing poetry since I was little, and then I started writing stories when I was like probably like 12ish and stuff like that. But I had my first poetry was published when I was like 19 years old. So been a poet a long time, and my poetry was published first. So I have been published before, and then I was a writer for Carpool Nocturnal and another magazine, no, two other magazines. So I have works that's published as far as articles and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, poetry was published in books. It was in two books and then published on websites and stuff like that. So I'm counting it. I don't really care what nobody says. Don't have to be a novel to be published, just so we're clear. Um, let's see here. He's like, I don't like hockey. Well, see, I used to like hockey. I used to watch hockey a lot because I like to watch the dudes fight. Because they used to get really violent and they used to be like banging each other against the glass and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, you guys keep fighting. Like, so I did used to watch hockey. I thought it was kind of cool actually. Dudes get kind of rough on that. Um, yeah, sports. That's a whole nother beast. I don't really do sports too much myself. Um, I wouldn't say the sports I like. They consider sports, martial arts, and like fencing, like weapons sports. I do. I do them myself, and I also like to watch them. All right. So if everyone answered the question, Then we can go ahead and jump in on our last sprint. Another 15. We should wrap up around 9:30 exactly, and then me and Dale will do our closing introductions. So let's go ahead and jump on that right in. I'll count 3, 2, 1, and right. See you at 9:30. Alrighty, and we're done. Do-do. Okay, let's see how everyone did. I will read the comments. Let's see where we're all at. So here. Ava. This is stopping a bit early, 43 words, new words. A read through and another proof check. Gonna hand it over to the hub for first alpha. Eyes on it. Ended the day with 3,440 probably. Good job, Ava. What about you, DL? What you got?
I got 491.
Very good. Good job. Got some good numbers in the sprint. Um, I edited another page too. Added edited some words that needed to go, and so they got deleted too. So balancing out there again, but getting it done. So that's all important. Moving another page ahead at the end of the day. All right, so let's see if anyone else comments their numbers. I don't know who else is left in the chat area. Maybe Steven or Abigail who joined us. See what's going on with them. I'll give them a minute or two to comment before we. Let me check.
But yeah, going back to my little story about the drama earlier before I got a phone call. It was like me and the other two guys I rapped with, and then like all of our girlfriends, and one of them was like engaged to somebody, all living in the same house. And one of the guys worked off. He was a logger, so he'd be gone for like 2 weeks and come in for like a weekend and be gone 2 weeks. And while he was gone, his girlfriend didn't want to stay there, so she would stay like where she was living before. And he was gone one time, and my girlfriend and the other dude's fiance or whatever was gone at work or something. And me and my other guy was staying there, and we was doing laundry, and we found these clothes. Like the girls all did their laundry together, but they wanted it separate whenever they like put it up. But they would just all their clothes together. And it was always me and the other guy, which his name was Derek as well. And we was always having to pick out whose clothes was whose because the girls wouldn't do it. And we was in the laundry room fussing about that. And he's like, you know what? I think I could fit into their clothes. And he wasn't like fat or anything. But at that point, I weighed like maybe 145. And he weighed like 190 maybe.
Oh.
And these girls are like 5 foot, 5'1", barely 100 or something.
Oh my god!
So he just grabs a pair of pants and a shirt and puts them on, just to see if he could fit in them.
Dude.
And then he goes to his room, takes them off, and tosses them on the floor because they was always just throwing their clothes wherever. And it happened to be my girlfriend's clothes. Well, later, his fiance seen those clothes in their room in the floor and thought that he had slept with my girlfriend. And she asked my girlfriend. My girlfriend was like, yeah, we fucked. I don't know why she told her that or whatever, but she told her that. So those two decided to get back at him. And instead of her fucking me to get back at him, she decides to travel to where the other guy was working and staying at a motel, took some type of pills or something and spiked his drink and got him all fucked up and then had sex with him to get back at the other Derek for something that didn't even happen.
Dude, what the?
Yeah, it was all kinds of crazy.
Oh my god, man!
When all that like finally came, like up front, and everybody found out about it, I was at work. I was getting pissed off because everybody kept coming up to me talking about it and stuff. I was like, I don't even know what's going on. But apparently, the other dude or whatever that was off working, he had texted the other Derek and told him, like, "Hey, I fucked up last night." Or whatever. So he's the one that actually came clean or whatever and about it. But that was all kinds of drama and shit.
Dude.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that chick, man?
I don't know. She was always a troublemaker.
The fuck? Even if let's say even the dude had done that, but it is even worse as he didn't.
Yeah. You could have asked him.
Why would you go do that anyway? Like,
yeah, and my part was like at first when it happened, I was like, how do you even know that she was wearing those clothes or whatever. Y'all put y'all's clothes together all the time, and we have to separate them. So who, you know, you could have just been wearing them at one point. We don't know. I was like, and why would you believe her? And if you do believe her, she just fucked your fiance. So why are you still friends with her? It's like, yeah,
Oh Lord, that's some crazy shit. People, man,
yeah.
like,
Of course, the other Derek and that chick, they was always having problems, always breaking up, getting back together like a week later and stuff, like
dude,
off and on. And then after
that
that,
noise,
we all kind of moved out, went our own ways. They broke
yeah.
up, blah, blah, blah. It was about 3 months later, and I see him again, just kind of walking down the road, going to his grandma's house. And I pull over and chit chat. I hadn't seen him in like 3 months. And we start talking, and he's like, "Yeah, me and Dobie's cool or whatever now, whatever." He apologized, said he didn't know what he was doing because he was all drugged up. I was like, "All right, well, I'm glad, we're all good now." And next thing I know, he's like, "Yeah, me and Holly's still together and this and that." I was like, "What the hell? How many times are y'all gonna keep getting back together?" I was like, "Yeah,
Dude, that's some crazy stuff. That careful stuff, dude.
yeah,
No, man. I be like, this bitch straight crazy. No,
it is." I was like, "God, it was a fucked up little love triangle that wasn't really a love triangle." That poor deal.
dude, your girlfriend is on, dude, man. She's funny though. I'm like, why you telling her it's not true, man?
I know. I was like, "What the hell?" But yeah, after I found out about that, me and my girlfriend just kind of split. We like, yeah, I ain't dealing with this kind of drama. Fuck that.
That's straight. She probably cause okay, a female mind when the chick was like, "Did you sleep with blah blah blah?" She was like, "Yeah, we fucked." Like, because you asking me some dumbass question like that, I'm gonna go ahead and just say yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
mean, both of them
like,
together plotted. Them both
yeah, but
went to the other dude's house or
that's the
place.
weird part though. Like, why would she do that when she knows she didn't even? What the?
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the hell? And that's why I was like, yeah, I'm not staying with you. I'm sorry. I don't
Something
know what
wrong
kind
with
of
that.
crazy stuff
Sort
you
of
do.
funny or something like, dude, this chick over here believing you, that's not even true. And then, like, you gonna go plot something that didn't even need to happen because you just lying like the what?
Oh yeah. I tell people about that, and they's like, "This was before y'all actually started recording." I was like, "Yeah." I'm surprised those two guys even still talk. I was like, I don't know.
Well, you can't let some crazy shit
Yeah.
like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first off, see now, they ain't gonna go drug the dude pretty much. I mean, now if a dude would have did that shit to a woman, it would have been like on 5 o'clock news or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, this dude drugged a woman and he raped her. Now, a chick go and drug a dude and have sex with him. It's cool. He
Yeah.
wanted it. Like, no, man, that's wrong. You don't do that shit to people. Get out with that. Nah, that's cool. No. That's some fucked
Yeah.
up
We
shit.
even
Like,
did a
that's not
song about
funny,
that
man.
situation.
Yeah, that'd be a good song, though, for real. Mm.
I think that's
Yeah,
like
you
one
should do that, man.
last
I'd
songs
read
that
that.
we did.
I'll be reading that book, be like shaking my head. Like, these
Uh,
people, man.
all
Yeah, I'll
kinds of
read
stupid
that.
stuff.
Oh, man, people crazy, man. All right, so I guess nobody else have any other numbers to report to us. So we are going to do our closings and we're gonna get out of here. All right, so DL, you want to do your closing? Anything got going on you need people to know about?
DL Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy, and then anything that I publish that's not adult medieval fantasy will be under Peter Gracie, like my memoir. I got some other stuff I've kind of somewhat wrote before that I might go back and redo. Um, I got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. I do have a Patreon account, and I've started actually being more active on it, like this past week or whatever. Um, I shared the first chapter of my audiobook on there,
Cool,
and
cool.
I've been sharing little bits of my memoir as I've been writing it up on there. I think I got two little snippets on there of that. Um, Besides that, I don't reckon anything. Got a
He don't
newsletter you can go
reckon
sign up
all that
for on
stuff
my
he got
website and
going.
stuff.
He don't reckon anything. He got a million things going on.
Yeah,
I
I
love
could be
his
scrolling that.
coolness about it. All right, Ava said, thanks so much. Yeah, thank you for joining us for all streams. Yeah, I love streaming because I do this gets me more, involved with my writing community, and also I write more with my streams because you get to talk to like-minded people in your industry. So I think it really helps, and altitude is a really good thing. Thank goodness for it. But yeah, I'm author DL Tillery. Only thing I got on right now is working on my debut novel. That's what I'm focusing on. I do have all the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon as well. And I am active over there more. But I always have been somewhat active on there, but trying to be more active on there. I only have like one or two patrons, I believe. But yeah, I try to still be very active as if I have 1,000 people over there. So I'm going to be posting once a week on there as well. I do 2 days out of the week on YouTube right now, and trying to make sure I post on my other social medias on a regular. But sometimes if you don't have your schedule down packed with that, you're going to get behind with it. I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, all our links are below. Again, if you don't have DL's book and you like fantasy, please go pick it up. It is very good. And Aphrodite's first novel is down there, and she has a novel coming out later this year. Her release party is November the 30th. And again, if you want to get involved with that, you can actually contact Aphrodite, and she's letting some of the authors, if they want to send a copy of book that they have out, or if they don't have a book out, they can put together like 3 chapters into a booklet style, and then so people can get to know about who they are. They send a business card or something like that. But she'll talk to you more about that if you want to contact her. Her links are below as well, her website, so you can always go in there and email her. All right, thank you guys, and we will see you on Tuesday. Bye.